Thank you, Paula. Okay, we're recording right now. Thank you. Okay, so thank you. So I've been given power. I'm now the host. Okay. Okay, so we are so excited for today, and we personally believe that we are going to accomplish much in the Nigerian and generally the African sphere. Okay, for us at the Lagos chapter, it's a bit of a challenge for us because our environment is not that techy, generally Africa. And when you talk about mental health, emotional well-being, you talk about human potential and performance using technology for all of this, it's quite more a bit of a strange in our environment. But then we are so happy to be the pathfinder and to be the trailblazer for TTA in Nigeria and most likely in Africa, okay? So for the Lagos chapter, our goal from today onward, what we'll be doing in the last 2-3 weeks is to actually help our ecosystem understand the opportunities that arise that are there for trans technology. So we transformation technology. So we want to do a lot of orientation. We want to do a lot of making information available for our ecosystem, for our environment, to understand that technology is possible, transformation technology is possible for them, and that it is available, and that the rest of the world, in Europe, in America, they are taking advantage of this, and they are using it effectively for their mental health, for their emotional well-being, for their human potential performance, you know. So we want to make that, that information, we want to inundate our environment with that information, and open that we can open up the environment, we can open up the ecosystem for people to see these opportunities first before they can experience it. They need to understand it first. They need to see the opportunity first before they can now start embracing it. So in the next 1, 2, 3 months, we're going to be doing a lot of awareness. We're going to be doing a lot of passing around information. We're going to see how we can draw a lot of people to the TTA platform, which is the Mighty Networks, and see how they can come in Africa and in Lagos, okay? So like I said, all of us most likely know a lot about what TTA stands for. That's transformation technology, using technology to enhance human emotional well-being, using technology to enhance, to bring joy to people, to help people live their full human potentials, to help people achieve peak performance, okay? So like the material Paula sent to us right from the time we inducted in as a chapter leaders and the saloon leaders, and you know, practically if you are using technology to actually help humans feel well, become emotionally strong, you're actually doing transformative technology. As long as whatever you're using runs on electricity, okay, mostly, then you are involved in transformative technology. Okay, so like I said, for the Lagos chapter, which Bidemi is my co-chapter leader also, we are committed to fully helping breaking up our environment and let people understand what we're doing. I want to say shout out to our chapter leaders team, Dayo Samuel, Toluche, I don't know who else, but if I don't call your name, please, thank you very much for showing up and for supporting us, okay? So right away, we're going to the business of the day. We're going to bring in our speaker. Our speaker is a CEO of an organization that is involved in using technology to help people live better health. So he's going to come up and introduce himself, and he's going to take the floor for the next 35 minutes. If you have any question, I'm the host. Kindly raise up your hand, or you drop your question on the chat room, and I'll see it. Okay, so a moment, I'm going to bring on Emmanuel right now. Okay, so Emmanuel Okon, you can, I'm unmuting you right now. So you can come aboard, you can speak.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, that's great. Good.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, all right, so thank you very much, Sammy and Dami, and also the stakeholders at TTC. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to come share the work we're doing at Vmedkit. and how we are leveraging. Okay.
Emmanuel, please, can we see your face? Can you bring up your video?
Okay.
People are requesting to see your face. Yes.
All right. Okay. My video should be visible, but I don't know why that's not coming up.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do something at my hand. Just a moment. Okay, your video should be visible because your video is on. It should be visible. Okay? You might want to check very well from your hand.
All right.
We're not seeing you yet. Your screen is literally blank. Okay.
All right.
Because we will need you to, you are doing a lot of demonstration, so we'll need to see you.
Okay, great. Okay, let me try and work on it. Okay.
You just click the video icon down your screen on the Zoom dashboard. Okay, can you share your screen? You could also share your screen. If you have anything on your screen, you could share your screen, and then I'll give you the permission to share your screen right away. If you have a presentation, Mr. Okon, you can share your screen, and we could take it from there. Okay, everyone, I think is off for the moment. He's trying to reconnect, okay? Please, let's give him a moment, okay? Let's give him a moment, and then it's coming back on board. Okay, someone is saying, oh, okay, okay. Please, I might not be able to respond to all the chat requests and messages coming in, but I'm trying to check so that I can know, I'm trying to see the ones I can immediately respond to. Okay, someone is asking, Nico is asking, what's the transformative tech landscape in Lagos? Okay, while we are waiting for our guests to come back in, I can answer that question. Okay, like I said initially, the transformative tech landscape in Lagos is quite challenging. It's challenging, but then we love the challenge. Okay, so and we believe that we have the ability and we have the manpower to actually break open that the landscape. Okay, the landscape is still relatively very new. Quite a few people even understand and even have the basic understanding about emotional well-being, mental health, and all of that. So to now talk about, okay, the technology part of it might be a bit challenging. Okay, so Bidemi has answered a question right there. For our guest, he runs he's the CEO of Vmedkit, a VR company that provides access to mental health care delivery. So he's done a lot in the aspect of using technology to actually provide mental health for people. Okay, so I think he's back now. So let me put him on. He's back now. Let me put him on. Okay, so that we're going right away. Okay, so Emmanuel is on right now. So let me unmute you. Okay, so it's back. I can see his screen. Just a moment. Okay, so Emmanuel, you are on.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Everything should be fine now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Allow me to quickly share my screen. Yes, you can. Okay. It should be visible now?
Yeah, it's visible. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I said already, I'm Emmanuel, and I work with Vmedkit. And practically Vmedkit, we're using VR to want to provide mental health care. So I'll quickly just be sharing the work we do at Vmedkit and how we go about our activities, our operations, and what brought us into this field in the first place. So first of all, I'm more of Vmedkit is run by 3 co-founders. Being I'm the CEO, we have a CTO who happens to be Philip Iboba, and also Chief Medical Officer who is Feyi Shetom Oluwatoyosi, who is in charge of the medical division, sort of advises on best psychotherapy practices, psychology practices, and how we can integrate mental health and technology together. Practically, that is it. So the journey for VR into mental health for us began as a combination of minds initially. Us trying to first of all, it was a team being mixed of made up of technology, people from technology background, also medical background. We have doctors in house, advisors, and all of that. And already, as of 2 years ago, there was a kind of falls and which a lot of noise around mental health, especially. There were a lot of suicide cases. There were a lot of insurgencies, especially in the northern part of the country, and all of that. So it will almost be described as a silent killer, that kind of a thing. And the awful part for mental health as a phenomenon exactly was that you find it that it's hard for people to talk about this. It's hard for people to have this kind of discussions in public places. When mental health is being talked about, it's been regarded probably as a taboo, or, for example, someone in your place of work can be mentally ill, but then if you tell the person he has a mental disorder, it's like almost like an insult. But then you'll find out when doing deep research that mental health does not have to do with all the whole, doesn't have to be severe, doesn't have to mean you run mad practically before you are being described as mentally ill and all of that. And so Nigeria especially would say that mental health is a big problem. And looking at statistics from what the Ministry of Health is giving, that's about 20% of the population, 20% of the population exposed to mental disorders, all ranging from both the mild to severe. And you will have a lot of cases like August, on the 7th of August, on August last year, there was a reported incident of a high-level senior bank officer. A high-level senior bank officer, probably he might have been going about his day-to-day activities normally, no issues, no problem, but all of a sudden there was a reported case of suicide. The bank manager, high-level bank officer committed suicide in his room in Victoria Island. And to surprise everyone, this bank manager had about 60 million naira in his account, which is like a huge sum in Nigerian currency. So looking at that, he probably is financially stable. Family may not actually have been the problem. Probably it could have been stress from workplace, it could have been this, it could have been that. But then you see that little attention is being paid to mental health as a whole, starting from workplaces, for example, or if you were to look at one of the well-known cases that we have in Nigeria, which is the kidnap of the Chibok girls. This is one of the prominent stories in northern Nigeria, being that these people, as around 2014, they were held captive, they were kidnapped for close to or more than 5 years. These people were held captive. And you see this sort of people, these sort of cases happening every day. And when someone like this recovers or is being rescued, at the end of the day, you see the person have to face all the whole trauma of because most likely they were raped, most likely there were a lot of horrible experiences that happened, and they have to face the whole trauma of what they went through. And also there are also similar cases with soldiers and the rest. So for us, the main objective for us is not actually the technology and not actually VR, because most times when we talk about VR, people like it. It's fancy. It's sort of like new technology. But for us, we look at everything from the side of how can we actually use this technology to solve the problem, not actually about how the problem wants to use the technology per se. That's and many other researches. That's what led us to want to start Vmedkit. So I would go into details quickly over what we do at Vmedkit. So now Vmedkit is a social enterprise. We describe ourselves as that, and we are in a mission to democratize access to mental health care, leverage virtual reality technology practically. So that's a one liner of what we do. And right now, how we operate is that we're focused on mindfulness and meditation practices. Because if you have to look at the whole cases of mental illnesses, we have schizophrenia, dementia, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, stress, anxiety, all of that. What we usually do when, after talking to a lot of psychotherapists, we usually do see that they usually do have a lot of guided meditations to stress, guided meditations to anxiety, guided meditations to different cases. So we're like, how can we create an exercise? How can we create content around meditation and mindfulness that can be helpful in all these different illnesses that we have? So one of the things we're focused on is meditation and mindfulness. And another very strong point to note is we've also been working around what we call CBT, using virtual reality for CBT. That is actually cognitive behavioral therapy, being that is focusing, taking it down to exposure therapy. Exposure therapy basically refers to exposing someone or exposing someone to a person's fear in a bit that after you sort of like interact with the source of your fear, you get to overcome it. So if you have a fear of heights, for example, you can be exposed to heights. You can be taken to a very tall building, and mere exposure to that from gradual height level over time, be able to get over it. So that is exposure therapy. Another very strong, scenario where VR can come in. So practically in the real world, if you want to build something like that, you actually will have to take the person to a very tall building in real life and make the person want to look down. And for instance, unfortunately, if something bad is to happen, then you can see cases of loss of life or danger and all of that. But with VR being that everything we have is all simulated, so you can sort of recreate a very similar experience all in virtual reality and deploy that. So VR, there are no concerns around safety. With VR, there are no concerns around cost. You don't actually have to find the beauty. You don't actually have to go through all of that. Once you have a model built for acrophobia, as they call it, then with that, it can be shared along people all over the world, and people having the similar symptoms can go through the same virtual experience that you have gone through. So that's one of the opportunities that VR entails. And definitely, most of us are conversant with mental health, but the whole VR as a whole, we are not so conversant with that. So probably, okay, that is for some people are already conversant with it. So I would also be going into detail about, talking a little bit about the technology, virtual reality. I'll talk about the opportunities that exist, some of the industries that virtual reality is being used in, and also fine-tuning it down to health. But before I go further, I would want to first of all do like actually it should be open. So I want to know from the audience, like, if anyone has actually tried out VR. If you have tried out VR, and okay, if you have tried out VR, I would just love one or two people to just relate their experience as to what it means to be in VR. So probably Sammy, if someone wants to speak, it can be unmuted.
Okay, if you want to speak, please just raise your hand and I'll see it.
Okay. All right. We have Mel and David. All right. Okay, I'm with you, Sammy, but I guess you're muted. All right, so practically we can go over that. So I guess no one is speaking. I can continue. So we can go over that. Okay. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah,
Very nice meeting you all. Thanks, Ukon, for your time. I really appreciate, because I'm a huge fan of mindfulness, and I have experienced VR, and I use it for meditation, for example. And I feel like what I experienced the most was being able to visualize the world in a different way. And because I really appreciate the mental health, I also agree with you that would be very powerful to use as maybe to benefit other people. But I really will enjoy it, and I hope to have more time, and after all this pandemic time goes over, like pass by, I can go back and try, because everything's closed here in Canada. So, but thanks so much for sharing.
Okay, all right. So
oh,
thank you.
Lovely.
So
okay, so David, let me bring on David. David, you are on.
Okay. I can tell you quite a bit about virtual reality because I create virtual reality content. And I primarily, well, solely create virtual reality content to reduce stress and anxiety by immersing people in nature. Because from my point of view, nature is the healer. We've all become so alienated from nature. I think that's why we have this disimbalance, which exacerbates mental health. So by immersing somebody in a natural environment, the sounds of nature and the believability, when you're totally immersed, makes your body psychologically and emotionally react as if you were actually in nature. So if you understand what prescriptive environments are, meaning there's all kinds of natural environments, it could be waterfalls or deserts, but if you find environments, and that's what I do, that are soothing and serene, green with the beautiful sounds of water and music, and people become immersed in that environment, their vital signs decrease, their heart slows down, and after a matter of 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, you actually believe that you are in that environment, and physiologically and psychologically, you react as if you were. So you de-stress. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I've been working with the University of Illinois last year. I create immersive environments for shared environments for therapeutic facilities. And I created one, believe it or not, in 1992, the first one ever, in a psychiatric hospital in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for emotionally distraught adolescents. And I have a research document from that, and that was carried out for many years. And the efficacy of what I'm speaking of is absolutely proven. So that's what I have, and there's a lot more that I can share, but maybe somebody else wants to say something.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much, David. And also thank you very much, Mel. Well appreciated. So practically, no doubt, VR virtual reality presents a new opportunity for everyone. A new opportunity, as you saw, I titled the presentation a new path to mental health. So with the virtual reality approach, there are a lot of ways and things that can be done, and ways in which you can use this to want to solve the whole mental health problem. And this is a part of our operations. We'll talk about how we deploy. So let me quickly go over virtual reality. So I don't want to spend much time talking the English or VR, or I'll actually just go straight into showing VR. So if we say this is a VR set, how do you use it? That this is actually for people most likely that might not have like a feel per se this is all virtual, but then we can sort of do like demonstration. So I'll bring a VR headset over here. Okay, so actually as of today, there are a number of VR headsets on the market. We have the Oculus Go, we have the Quest, we have the Rift S, the PlayStation VR, and then the Vive. Already, the Oculus Quest is getting a lot of traction in the market already. It's being accepted by a lot of people. Okay, so for the sake of people that are not conversant with VR, so I have a VR headset with me here, so I'll just quickly bring it around for demonstration. Okay, so thank you very much. So, is this visible? You can just sort of nod. Oh, this is visible. All right then. So this is a VR headset, and this is an HTC Vive. This is an HTC Vive Cosmos. So practically, when you're trying to explain VR to people, people feel, is it like a 3D movie? Is it like a film or so and all of that? But definitely VR is way past all that. So just to go through a quick overview of how you operate VR. I can't do much here because we're all virtual, but if it had been physical, then demonstration would have been better. So practically, the VR headsets, with the VR headsets, you have the speakers which are attached to it for audio, and then you also have lenses inside for visuals. And then already running on this VR headsets is an inboard computer that processes the whole information and all that. So, but to put on a VR headset, all you simply have to do is actually, when you put it on, you actually lose sight of the normal world, of the physical world, and you're all in VR. So it captures the whole line of sight. So for example, I'll just do a quick demonstration. I'll be talking through, however. Okay. So with VR right now, you strap on the headsets, you get in a comfortable environment, somewhere quiet, where distraction is minimized. And then once you're in VR and everything is set up, you can then quickly just, strap it on. And immediately, once you have this, you are sort of like transported into a whole new environment. And in the environment, you can sort of interact with objects there, interact with people, interact with 3D entities, and also along with the VR headsets are also controllers which you sort of use to track your movements in VR. So I will just quickly do an overview. So this is just for side purpose. So we're not just all talking and VR, but then some people don't know what it is. So these are the controllers. The controllers, this is what you hold with your hands and then use it, and then you can pick up objects in the virtual world, you can interact with objects in the virtual world and all of that. Okay, so that will just be quick. So straight to the opportunities that VR proposes. Let me go straight to this. So already we are seeing a lot of traction with VR in gaming. People are using it very much in gaming, most especially gaming. And then another strong use case is also education. People are using this to train students, teaching on STEM education, teaching on safety practices, probably for safety against the fire outbreak, safety against one or two incidences that can occur during work and that. And now for us, we are taking VR into the health sector. And as we have heard from Mel and David, awesome work they are doing there. So you can see that VR already it's probably in Africa is moving slow, but I'm sure globally it's having quite the traction. So people are using VR, and apart from the use cases I mentioned exposure therapy, CBT. David talked about mindfulness and meditation, and what it can do, being relaxed, being in a tranquil environment, and that. And all of that. But we're also seeing use cases with fitness, physical fitness, for example. Physical fitness being that people are using VR to want to exercise. People are using VR for sports. So you cannot go to the gym, you cannot go out, you cannot go outdoors, but then with VR, we can have all that physical experience all indoors. And one other interesting use case, this presentation is titled Leveraging Technology for Remote Mental Health Care. So talking about remote mental health care, one very strong part of medicine that is growing is telemedicine. And telemedicine, initially you have video calls, you call your doctor, you have a one-on-one consultation with the doctor and all of that. Yes, it was Bellini that mentioned something about research saying that VR sort of telemedicine has proven to be more efficient than Skype-based therapy. I'm right now, right? Yes, VR-based therapy being more efficient than Skype-based therapy. So with VR now, VR can also be applied in telemedicine. So meaning that you don't just have to, it doesn't just have to be like a video. It can actually have a sense of full immersion in VR with a therapist and all of that. All right. As a company, we have received funding from Facebook. We have received funding also from MasterCard, and then TEF and ELA, the rest. Part of the awesome job that TCC is doing is trying to want to sort of like connect the ecosystem and bring different stakeholders together. Stakeholders with vested interest in mental health as well as vested interest in technology, using deep technology most especially, using those two to actually solve the big problem. And for us as a company, we have been doing this since late 2018. We started doing VR for mental health since late 2018, yes, yeah. And so already we sort of have like an experience in the market. So we sort of like know what the market reception is like when you talk about VR. We have practically been almost like everywhere. I've been to most of the mental clinics in Lagos, both private and federal, and also talked with private people practicing privately. That's one-on-one psychotherapists, a one-man team on that. So we sort of like understand the market and most especially the Nigerian market to be specific. In Africa, there are very few startups doing what we are doing, in the sense that there are very few startups using VR to want to solve the mental health problem. The other startup I'm aware of that is doing something similar is in Egypt. They should be therapeutics or so. Yeah, therapeutics. So already you would see that for us, it's not just about being the only one in the market or being the major one in the market and all of that, but we believe that with what TCC is doing, working hand in hand with TCC, then we can also expose the market further. We can sort of like share our experience, share what we have learned about the market, share one or two things. So first of all, let me go straight. So these are sort of the part of the 4 ways that we think we can want to take this further in form of wanting to make VR accessible to more people. Because as of right now in Nigeria, less than 1%, if not far lower than that, own a VR device. So this is, you already have a deficiency in terms of accessibility. So to want to drive accessibility, the best way to want to scale will be by partnerships. So we have listed 4 partnership opportunities. And straight to the first one, we have distributors. Being that we, as a company, we can't fulfill all the whole value chain. We can't go all the whole value chain. We can't be providing mental health care, providing the distribution, providing the access, providing the content, and also delivering this to the market. There's a lot to want to do. So in terms of distribution, we feel we're making sort of like an open call right now. So if anybody has like invested interest and feels like I want to get onto this VR, I want to get into this VR industry, I want to get into this mental health industry. Probably you might there are a lot of use cases, a lot of things you might want to tackle. So one of the benefits that we can offer is that Vmedkit is part of as I said, Facebook is one of our investors. So that means that we have direct access to the virtual reality team in Silicon Valley. Yeah, in San Francisco, actually. We have direct access to the virtual reality team there. So I've talked with part of their heads there. So we can have sort of like, and I believe, thank God, we have David and Mel on board. We can have more conversations around that. But I believe based on the partnership, we can leverage the partnership to bring down these VR devices down to Nigeria. Because if we want to drive accessibility, then you need to make these equipment available to people. I want to experience a VR, I want to have a VR experience. Where can I have such experience? It should be easily accessible, close to you, probably an hospital nearby, a clinic nearby, a pharmacy nearby. You should be able to walk in to have a VR experience. That's one of the things we're hoping for. So distributors partner with us, we can get a discount based on leveraging Facebook, and also use this to drive accessibility to the market. And also we're setting up experience centers, being that people want to experience VR, but they can't pay the full, pay the full price of buying a VR device. But you can, in the experience center, they can pay like $2, they can pay like $5 to have an experience. So anybody can come set up an experience center. We have expertise in this, we know about this, so we can guide you through that whole process and all that. Another way we can work with you is through rentage, probably as an individual, as a one-man therapist. You want to deploy VR to your patients. For that kind of scenario, you can just sort of like, we can have our equipment out for rentage, and you can quickly just come on board on an hourly basis, 2 hours, 3 hours, have that equipment, deploy your service to your customer, and then that's it. And I would want to put a lot of emphasis on this last one, because believe me, so far so good. Accessibility is a problem, scale is a problem, but one of the major problems for VR is also content. Content. VR is lacking in terms of content. And that is obvious, being that the time and efforts and investment that is being put into develop VR content is it's quite a lot. So already you see people doing trying to build mindfulness and meditation experiences, and they do this with 360 cameras. A 360 camera is something that can capture the physical world all around. So you see people doing different stuff, all in ways to want to bridge the gap of insufficient content for virtual reality. So what part of the ways we can help the ecosystem is that we are willing to, I will talk with Sammy, we are willing to offer free training on virtual reality software development. So these are for people interested, and definitely it's not, the class will not be able to take a lot of people. So we can say we can start with like 10, make that to 20 later. But people that are interested, we can train them on how to use tools like Unity 3D, how to use the Google VR SDK, how to use tools like the Amazon Sumerian, and all of that. So we can practically take you through the whole from end-to-end process of building a VR software or building VR content, and that. So for that purpose, I will be sharing the link. Immediately after my talk, I'll be sharing the link in the group chat over there. So you want to reach out to us on a possible way we can partner, be it a distributor, be it an experience center, or be it wanting to build out VR, build out content on VR. We're open to all of that. And so do reach out to us, and thank you. So one last thing I would love to end with is that for us, one of the things we're looking forward to is where a lot of people can come into this ecosystem and grow the ecosystem, because we believe that the only way to want to grow and the only way that this problem as a whole can be solved is through many people contributing the whole. So not just virtual reality alone, there is also a lot of conversations around using artificial intelligence and mental health. I personally, I believe that there's a lot of prospects there wanting to use artificial intelligence for mental health. You have personalized, talking about personalized medicine, the algorithm having access to your medical records and using all that to give you awesome insights and that. So that's another awesome opportunity. So there are a lot of conversations that we can have, a lot of that. So just reach out to us on the type form over there. You choose how you want to partner with us, and we can get the ball rolling. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone here. We do appreciate the team at Vmedkit is also excited to see how we can push the industry forward. So thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I'll leave it over to Sammy then. Yeah. So thank you. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Sammy. For
So
a moment.
we have some questions for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're able to see the chat, but so some questions that have come while you were speaking is, can you be more specific about how you use virtual reality for education?
Okay. 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 All right. So let me just give a quick response to that. So I talked about these are just major use cases for virtual reality. There are a far more number of use cases. So for education in specific, Vmedkit is a health company, so we are concerned we're concerned on the health industry. But as if I'm to answer for education, how we have seen people using this is let me give a practical example. For instance, you want to learn about geography, you want to learn about the solar system, but the only thing you have been exposed to is pictures. You are exposed to circles being drawn in like an orbit and all of that, and with that you're expected to have a full grasp of what they are teaching you per se. So in a way, things can be sort of like become abstract. The way you see the solar system is more of like 2D diagrams for you. But with virtual reality, we have seen people design VR solar systems. So being that you can design like a universe in VR, and then once you put on the headset, it's almost as if you're in space. It's almost as if you're experiencing the universe, almost as if you're right on top of Mars. So the kind of immersive experience that VR can give, leveraging this technology, it's not like before. So with that, students are able to understand concepts better. They're able to not just have like just images of what the solar system is, but they can have like almost like I've experienced it, I've been there, I've encountered this. It turns from just text and images to almost like a reality for them, although virtual. So in a way, we believe that virtual reality can help aid the learning process in a very big way, not to pull everything up, but to complement what already exists. So that is one of the ways that we see people using VR for education. Another use case is at workplace, being that you have people that are exposed to hazards at work every day, and you see companies budget millions and millions, a bulk of their revenue into safety measures. So being that in case of a fire outbreak, how do you react to this? So when you want to educate and train a worker on how he can sort of like navigate the environment during a fire outbreak, that's part of education and training. So with that, you can do it in VR. You don't just have to use videos and explain it from here to there. But with VR, you can make the person almost want to experience and live that scenario. So with specific examples, that's part of the ways that we see VR working in the education sector. So thank you. I believe I've answered that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. So there is one more, well, there is actually some more, but let's go with this one, which I find it interesting. Is from Don. Can you say more about your investors and how hard is it to find support in Lagos and Nigeria?
Okay.
Or, you know, how is it the landscape over there?
Okay, all right. First of all, believe me, this is one of the topics I've had a lot of, and that there have been a lot of discussions around investment opportunities, specifically to Africa. But let me use my experience first. I would say everything for us. One of the big boosts that we received was actually being part of the Facebook Accelerator program. So being that already in Nigeria, it's difficult to want to see organizations supporting technology at this level, deep technology. But Facebook Accelerator is a program that is actually targeted towards that. What they do is support startups that are leveraging artificial intelligence, leveraging augmented reality, leveraging virtual reality, leveraging deep science, and also leveraging Internet of Things too. Yeah, IoT. So having sort of like Facebook wanting to come up to build a hub there, and for us it was like one of the turnaround for us. Leveraging that, we could use that to drive access, drive house raise funds. We raised more than $20,000, and that's so. And then so for also from a number of investors, and like Mastercard was also able to raise investment from the Mastercard Foundation, and also the TEF Foundation, TEF. So, but talking generally on the funding landscape in Nigeria, generally one word I would describe it as being difficult. Being difficult, especially even when you're trying to bring a new technology. In the sense that, let's for instance, you go meet a Nigerian investor and you're trying to explain, I'm building an awesome product, I'm using VR, I'm using AI, and they don't have a clue as to what artificial intelligence or VR is. They're just like, what do you mean? Like, all they're concerned about is, where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money? And for us, when they ask that kind of questions, we have to take like steps backward to to actually think about that. Where actually is the money? And the truth is that we believe that VR is an industry that is going to grow. The money may not be present, but the money is actually there. So being that we believe that it's a market that is still in its infant stages, so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. So if you're not able to find to walk this journey with you, that will be perfect, that will be able to understand your vision, understand what you're driving to achieve, then it's going to be a whole lot of that's what we believe. So but definitely based on being that we've been through this and we know what it feels like, and also talk with also startups that are using deep technology like AI and augmented reality. We've interacted with all the startups in Nigeria and also in Lagos. So we can also give one-on-one advice. Like, I know what startup are you working on, how are you working on it, how are you going about it. I can be able to give specific advice as to how to navigate the ecosystem. So that is that as regards the funding landscape for us. So that is it. Thank you. Okay.
Bidemi, Sami, do you want to ask something else, or would you like him to address any other question? Bidemi?
I went off for some minutes. Went off briefly, so sorry for that. I just want to add this. Can anyone hear me, please? I want to add this quickly. Regarding, partnerships and all that, maybe emails will be sent and all that for people interested in partnerships, either as a therapist. For us as a business, we want to even partner in the area of, as an experience center where people can walk in, to because people can't afford the headgear and all that, so people can come in here and use the headgear while they connect online. So we want to propose that partnership with Vmedkit. So anyone that is willing to make such partnerships, we'll send you the work plan on how to go about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Bidemi. Okay.
Thank you, Bidemi. And I think that comes to another question that was asked in the chat, and is about partnerships. So what is the strategy you're following? I think you mentioned it, but if you could be more specific on what type of partnerships are helping you make it more accessible to the people, and how you connect with therapists and how you are achieving those problems, because as you mentioned, VR heads are not something cheap.
Okay, all right. So thank you for the question. Let me answer that question from the standpoint of cost, for example. Let me answer it from cost. So as of now, the best and in terms of quality, while thinking about quality and affordability, you can get as far as the VR device will be the Oculus Go. The Oculus Go, and that ranges from $150 to $200, and that's around the price of an Android phone. Yeah, that's around the price of an Android phone. So we believe that someone starting from that, you should not have a lot of concerns around cost. You should not. If you want to get into VR, you can get started with an Oculus Go. There are other advanced headsets like the PlayStation VR, the Rift Airs, and the Vive, and all of that. Like the one I showed, that is a Vive and that. But to get started, you can get started with an Oculus Go. And on the Oculus Go, you can even start practicing mindfulness and meditation right on the go. So I would advise that for anybody coming into the ecosystem. If you want to get started, you can get started with the Go. Then gradually you move over to the Quest and then the Rift S. And that's as regards cost. So then talking about the nature of the partnership. To answer that, first of all, we believe that the market is big enough for everyone. We believe that we see ourselves as more of like a social enterprise, to say. So not an NGO per se, we don't have to make profit, but more of a social enterprise. So what drives us, our mission is to solve the mental health problem, not actually to make money out of it. So if we can find any way to want to make the vision work out, make this happen, then definitely we're open to that. So if you are partnering with us, the partnership won't be in form of equity. We're not saying we're trying to buy any company or own any company or have any gets. We're not doing that. It's all the on terms of things like shared revenue, for instance, or in terms of the one-time off, or in terms of consultation, or in terms of taking you through the whole process. And we believe that once you can take you through this process, then you can get started on your own. And that's one of the things I believe is missing the ecosystem. So if we have people on the content side of things, people developing content for VR, we have people on the distribution side of things, people making VR headsets available, and we have all of that, then all of these factors playing a role together can help solve the problem we have created. Because if, for instance, you say you are developing VR content, you are building VR softwares, but you have no market, you have no distribution channel, you have nobody owns a VR device, they can't even get a VR device, then how do you get your solution to your local market, for instance? So that's why we need different people to work hand in hand. And we believe at any level, all you have to do is just talk with us and we see how we can work together. So if you have up to like $5,000 or you have $100, still talk to us so we can know, okay, this is how we can help you navigate the system. This is what we can suggest and advise. And that, so once you reach out to us, you would get the conversation going. That's it.
Thank you, Okon. So we are going to ask a last question, even though we know we are, a little bit over time, but is it okay for you, Okon?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
Okay, so Dayo, can you unmute yourself? Dayo, someone?
Yes, I've just unmuted myself.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I wanted to quickly ask Okon, in 2018, or let me just say last year when I joined TTA, one of the reasons why I joined TTA was because I wanted to be able to create VR devices to solve the problem of fear, phobias, and anxiety. And my friend here, Toluche, is a professional in mental health as well. And so we have been scouting, looking, searching devices, searching websites and all that, where we could get one source for devices, because we run programs together. I am actually a therapist in private practice. So I use meditation, I use hypnosis, I use mindfulness, including today. I had a class today where I had about 6 different persons in class, and we had to do it via Zoom. So what I'm trying to get at is, how can we, as a therapist now, I don't intend, originally my plan was that I was going to get the VR device and then look for people to build content for it. But now that I'm meeting you, now that I'm getting to know that you already have all of that in place, can we, I've seen the 4 different ways you mentioned that we can partner together. Now, the question is, if I want to get one of the devices for myself in order to be able to use for private practice, so you mentioned that if I get Oculus Go, for example, if I pick Oculus Go, is it possible to get the content from your company? Or would it be okay if we actually get the entire device and the content all together from your company? The essence of that is, without content, a VR device itself is useless. You already know that. And without the device, the content itself is useless. I remember talking to somebody who works with Unity. I guess you know Unity.
Yeah.
So he was ready to actually work with us, and I've already placed an order for a device, which hasn't come anyway. The reason why it hasn't come is because of COVID-19. That's the reason why it hasn't come. So now that I'm getting to hear about you, how about working together, how about partnering together? Okay, let me just stop at that. So would you mind answering that?
Okay, all right. So thank you very much, Dayo, for that. That's awesome. It's good seeing also people really interested in wanting to, and even as far back as 2018, that's awesome. Want to use VR in your practice, being that that's actually what you do on your day-to-day work. That's awesome. You mentioned a statement, you talked about getting the device, which is you are trying to already do that, and then when you get the device, how can you get the content? That's simple. So what we'll do is this. The Oculus Go has Oculus Store. Yeah, so there's an Oculus Store. It's like an app store on the Oculus Go. So on the App Store, you can access VR apps there and also VR resources there. So there are 2 ways to go about that. It's either you go on the Oculus Store, and then you download our application directly from the store to start to use it.
Oh, you already have an application right there.
Okay, currently right now, there's no public application on the store. So that is one way. That is one way of accessing the content. So it's either you can go on the store to access the application. However, one way you can do that, which is currently what we are using right now, is where we deploy it in-house. In-house meaning that we call it side loading, meaning that we can side load our content and everything we have built right to the device that you have. So being that you have the fresh device and all our contents, all the environments, all the guided meditations and everything, all of that package, then we can sideload all the modules and then you can access it that way. Then as far as how to go about the content, what to be the structure for pricing the content and all of that, we can have discussions on that. But it's either you can sideload it and that will have to be a physical process, or you can, if and when we've uploaded our app to the Oculus Store, you can just download it. We believe that will be the easiest. We have not actually done that because of the Nigerian market is still very much traditional. Nobody's going. So there's no Nigerian that will go on the Oculus store to download it. So you practically have to.
I very much understand that one.
Exactly. So you practically have to bring the VR device itself, we bring the application itself. So we're doing like distribution, content, delivery, all at the same time. You get so
yeah.
That's actually doing it right now. But in order to scale, this is having the content on the store will be the best way to scale. And so for someone like you, can just easily have access to that. But you stay in Lagos, right?
Sure.
So
We all stay in Lagos, yeah.
So I think that what we can do is, you know, because I'm also receiving some, and you know, another request for collaboration with you, Okon. I think what we can do is, could you please share with us your contact so that anyone who would like to get in touch with you can reach out to you via your email or however you want to be contacted? Because I think that there's so many opportunities here, and you know, I think that the synergies that are starting here can go farther, but we don't have too much time. So in order to be respectful of everyone's time, can you please share that? And everyone who wants to get in touch with you, they just okay. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Does anyone else would like to share something else?
Okay, all right, we have David.
Okay, Sammy, do you want to say anything, or Bidemi?
David wants to say something.
David?
Okay.
David? Wait. Wait one moment, David. You are muted.
Mute myself. I think you
Right.
can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, that I've been working with virtual reality and creating content for over 3 years. It's all nature. And if you would like, I'm happy to donate some of my content to you to use. And that way you can interact with it and understand better what my point of view and what it is that I'm trying to get out there using virtual reality and VR. And it all applies to mindfulness, meditation, stress and anxiety relief. So I'm happy to do that. And if you're interested, you let me know.
Okay, all right. Definitely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. David. As a company, as a VR company, if you have to ask us like, what is your number one biggest constraint? We would definitely tie it down to content. Content, that's like our number one biggest problem, content. So having someone willing to open up and share that content with us, and especially you being that you actually specifically working around mindfulness and meditation, we are definitely open to that. It's well appreciated. So,
okay, thank you. I'll just say one more thing. You're talking about virtual reality, which virtual reality is a way to share the content, but the content is what's most important. So you can talk virtual reality all you want, but until you understand what prescriptive content is, then that's a whole different story. But I did copy your information, and I will hopefully connect with you, and we can speak, and I can, through WeTransfer, I can send you 3 or 4 environmental, some of my pieces. They're different than you might expect, but yeah, we can get that going.
Awesome. Our team will very much appreciate that. Very. We are looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes. Awesome.
That's amazing. This is great. So I think I'm going to just end this for Sam. Sammy Bidemi, would you like to say something?
Yes.
We can hear you. Okay, I think he's frozen. So anyways, this was really insightful, and the way you drove us through your journey as entrepreneur, and for your company in virtual reality, I think that was very insightful. I love the opportunity of of collaborations and synergy that all these calls provide us. And oh wait, Bidemi, you were muted, completely muted. You're frozen. Can you, now we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I was just thinking. So thank you so much, everyone. And I will let you end the call.
Okay, thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you, to our speaker. He did a fabulous job, fantastic presentation. He has left a link for us to, in case you need partnerships. Before this call is over, quickly copy the link he has posted. If you're interested in being a partner in any way, in any form, please just copy the link. In case you also have questions, you can send us an email to Lagos at ttaacademy.co. We'll be happy to message you. Thank you all for turning up. I think this is recorded. Also watch again and again. Thank you again. Thank you. Sammy, do you have anything?
Thank you, Irene.
Hello,
Sammy, you are
everyone.
unmuted now.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for showing up. My network suddenly went bizarre. I'm so grateful for Paula for being on the standby, for saving us today. I'm so much very grateful. Thank you for that. And for our speaker, we're so grateful. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and thank you for the wonderful presentation. Okay, I want to thank my co-chapter partner, Bidemi, being an awesome journey with us, and with for all our team leader at the TTC Lagos chapter, Dayo Samuel, Toluche, and so many other people in this this meeting. Thank you so much for being there with us. There's still a lot to do for the Lagos chapter of the TTC. So let's join hands together. Let's create the awareness. Let's make the ecosystem aware of the opportunities that is available for the tech transformation tech industry. Okay, so we are grateful. Thank you. Next month we are going to be having another meeting again. So we'll be glad to have you again for our next month's event. Okay, and we believe we're going to be far more than this, and it's going to be a bomb. Thank you so much.
This is amazing. This
have a wonderful
great.
evening.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more thing before you leave, we are hosting a global event next Tuesday around solutions like the one you are building and more, and different technologies around transformative tech. So all of you are invited. You can find the information about that event in transformativetech.org if you haven't, and you will get free trials and discounts on several types of technologies that will be helping us come out even stronger. So you are all welcome, and welcome to join us to these calls, which, as you can see, there are lots of things that we can learn and a lot of ways that we can collaborate. So we'll be hosting ongoing sessions like this one. Thank you so much, Okon. Thank you, Bidemi and Sami, for organizing, and everyone for attending, and see you soon.
Okay,
Bye.
right.
Thank you. Bye.